Josh Allen has a chip on his shoulder. We talked about earlier in the year after the Colts kind of embarrassed them and they went on that little bit of a skid that Buffalo could be washed. Buffalo could end up missing the playoffs. Buffalo ends up winning the AFC East. Buffalo gets into a good position in the postseason to where they are the fourth seed, right? Because Cincinnati's the third, yes. So they go into that. We end up predicting that the Patriots are going to upset them because we think that Belichick is going to end up being more prepared, or should I say, a little bit more equipped to face Josh Allen for a third time. And what did he do? He didn't just break the mold. He didn't just think outside the box. He ripped it apart, fucking spit it out, and said, "Yo, I'm here. I'm not losing again." And he didn't just have a game. He didn't just have a good game. And he didn't just have a great game. He had a nearly flawless game. 4 total incompletions, 5 touchdowns. We went down the stat sheet last week, but the point of the matter is the Patriots defense is not a scrub defense. The Patriots defense is a top 5 defense all year. Josh Allen is legitimately looking at this Chiefs team and saying, we're not doing this again. We're not going through this repeat again. And I believe them. I think the coaching staff is great. I think the personnel is great. I think the quarterback is great. I think the defense is great. And I'm not saying that the Chiefs aren't. I'm just saying I'm getting another one of those weird feelings in my gut that I'm saying I got to lean with the Bills because I just feel. Listen, when Stephon Diggs waited on the field and watched the Chiefs celebrate as they were going to the Super Bowl, I felt that as a competitor, as an athlete myself. That builds fuel, man. They have a motivating factor to say, I don't want to feel like this again. I know the Chiefs lost in the Super Bowl, so they have a little bit more of a motivating factor to get back to the game that they lost and were embarrassed in, quite frankly, against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And I'm not saying that the Chiefs aren't good. God knows Patrick Mahomes, that defense and that personnel and that coaching staff are fucking amazing. But I gotta go with Josh Allen, man. They did not just beat a good football team. They beat the living shit out of the Patriots in Buffalo. In a cold front, in a not a blizzard, but a fucking frigid ice battle that was taking place in Buffalo. And I really think, man, I know I'm sitting here and I'm looking at the damn weather. It's 38, so it's not going to be like Buffalo temperature. But the point is, this is going to be a battle. I know that Kyle said that the game prior with the Rams and the Buccaneers is probably going to be a very evenly and close matchup. The Bills-Chiefs game might rival that because, I mean, you got 2 strong arms in Josh Allen and Pat Mahomes. You got 2 great coaches in McDermott and, of course, Andy Reid. Of course, at that point, you give the edge to Andy Reid. But, they have good run games, not consistent run games, with Edwards-Helaire, Damian Williams, and then, of course, on the other side, Zach Moss and Devin Singletary. The receiving core of Buffalo, I would say, is probably a lot less than the receiving core out there in Kansas City because we know the weapons that they possess. But, yeah, man, I'm riding with the Bills. I think that the Bills are going to upset the Chiefs. I think the Bills are going to end up facing the Bengals in the AFC Championship. But this game will be a good one. I would probably say this comes down to 3 to 6 points.
Yeah, I mean, this game is going to be fantastic. I really do think that it's set up to be an epic matchup. And really, just when you get a rematch from last year's AFC Championship game, it's the same stadium that they're playing in. And I imagine the Bills are just really just gnawing at the bit to get back on the field and claim some sort of redemption from last year's loss to the Chiefs. Except, I don't think that they will get it. I got the Chiefs winning this one, and here's why. So, when I look at Kansas City beat the brakes off the Steelers. Kevin, you and I both expected that to happen. Basically, once that playoff schedule was set up, there was no way that the Chiefs were going to lose to the Steelers, and they beat them in convincing fashion and put up more points against the Steelers in that matchup than the first matchup that they had against the Steelers just about a month ago. So when I look at the Chiefs overall, they are playing at such a supreme level right now. They have shaken off those early season woes where they were very inconsistent. The offense was sputtering. The defense was playing up to snuff. But really, once the offense got it together, the team as a unit, they've been playing phenomenal football once again. They've really ascended to the top of the AFC. I still see them as the best team in the AFC, despite holding the number 2 seed compared to the Titans being the number 1 seed. And I think when I look at this matchup, I think that the Chiefs are going to get redemption from the Bills for the first matchup that they had against each other in the early part of the season, because the way that the Chiefs lost the Bills earlier in the season, I think it was quite shocking for a lot of NFL fans and a lot of diehard Chiefs fans, because to lose to the Bills the way that they did at home, it was really just a gut punch for KC, and it really tested this team moving forward. And I think that they've responded in the best way possible. I mean, finished off with one of the best records in the AFC in the NFL as well. And I think just looking at the success that Patrick Mahomes has had in his relatively short career so far, it showed me that he was able to overcome those early season woes, get back on track, and really play just top flight football once again at that quarterback's position. And then to combine that, you got guys like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. They've been providing huge sparks for the offense. I do like the fact that they have Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Darrell Williams getting consistent touches between the two of them, providing huge impacts for them in certain respective moments in certain games. And even though that I think that Buffalo has been playing really good football of late, especially after that huge win over the Patriots last week, I think that the Bills season does come to an end. It's no slight against the Bills. I think the Bills are one of the most well-rounded teams in the NFL as far as their offense and their defense is concerned. I mean, their defense is top tier, if not the best defense in the NFL. But you're going up against a bad man in Patrick Mahomes, and that is no easy task going into this matchup. I think that the Bills, they're going to have a solid effort against the Chiefs, but I think the Chiefs are just going to be too much to handle. I think the Chiefs end up pulling away from this game at the end, because I think it's going to be a close game early on and maybe through the third quarter. I just see the Chiefs getting the edge in the fourth quarter, and that's where I think that they end up getting this game when it matters the most. So I got the Chiefs winning this one. I think it's going to be a one-possession game. I think it's going to be close, like I said. And as far as the score is concerned, I'm going to say the Chiefs win this one by the score of, let's say, 34-30. I think when it's all said and done, it's a one-possession game, but I do think that the Chiefs come out on top, and the Chiefs would advance to the AFC Championship game once again. And for the Bills, unfortunately, their season would come to an end.